Hi, I'm Julie, keeper of my home. Welcome to my channel. For the past 2 months, my husband and I have been participating in the 3 Rivers Challenge, eating only from our food stores here at home and not shopping outside. Since we only do the challenge for the months of January and February, this past week marked the end of this challenge for us. On this day, I'm making our bread for the week using fresh milled whole wheat flour along with some all-purpose flour and a bit of sourdough starter. Our oldest son's birthday fell during this challenge, and we did have to go shopping for his birthday dinner, but I don't count that in the challenge. If you saw the video where I made our son's birthday dinner, then you know green onions were one of the things that we purchased at the store. We all know that food is expensive, so we want to get the most out of all the food that we can. So one of the things I like to do is regrow my green onions. Once I use them and I get them down to, they're probably about 1 inch or 2 in size, then I just put the root in some water. I put them up on my kitchen windowsill and they grow back. I can do this up to 3 times. So what I'm paying for them in the beginning, I can divide by 3, and I'm really getting a deal. On this night, we're cooking a beef roast, and I know I've cooked these before, but this time I'm using a little bit of a different ingredient. You'll see what it is, what I'm pouring over my roast, if you subscribe to my newsletter. The link is in my description box. Don't worry, it's free, and it's full of lots of delicious recipes. Joe and I make it a practice to create meals that we know are going to stretch. A roast is a really good meal that you can stretch into 1, 2, or sometimes even 3 more meals. And if you're really frugal, you can make it go longer than that. I'll post some really great ways to use these leftovers in my newsletter. This was a breakfast that I actually made twice this week. Just pulling some leftovers out of the refrigerator. Just pan frying some onions, some peppers, just a few different things. Some tomatoes left over from the birthday meal. And I'm making a custard with some eggs, milk, and I'm adding some cheese. We had a little bit of smoked Gouda cheese left over in the fridge, so just made a frittata. Just adding that to the oven, and it cooks in about 20 minutes. We had that with a side of homemade toast and some bacon. Remember the pork belly that my husband so nicely pulled out of the freezer for me and finally did something with? We brined it, and now it's time to smoke it. So my husband's going to put it in the smoker and let this smoke for several hours, and then we're going to cut it into bacon. Now this has been smoked in a maple and brown sugar brine, so it should be pretty tasty. While I was busy doing other things, my husband made a German chocolate cake, and we're going to make coconut pecan frosting for this, all homemade. I frosted the cake, and I didn't do the whole thing because Riley doesn't like coconut. I think this is a meal we may have done, and it's on repeat. It was that good. Madeline is helping me put some rice in the Instant Pot and get that going. And Joe is slicing up some onions and peppers and adding those to a pan, along with a couple of jars of canned beef. I always reserve the liquid from the jars of beef, and I make a gravy with that. I just have to season whatever seasonings I want in there, but it has such a great beef flavor already, so why not use it? We also still have squash from our garden last year, so we're going to cook that up along with some canned carrots. These are glazed carrots that I can. They're so good. For those of you who feel like some of these meals look a little bit too intimidating or hard to do, or maybe you don't have all of the ingredients, a lot of the meals that we make are really quite versatile. You can use pretty much whatever you have in your refrigerator. Whenever I create meals, I keep that in mind. What do I have in my refrigerator that can be used? What's left over that needs to be used up before it goes bad? What's in my pantry that's going to be outdated soon? That's how I create my meals. I'm not looking at what's in the sale flyer first. I'm shopping my home. From scratch meals don't have to be a lot of work. They can be as simple or as complex as you make them. And here I am cleaning the refrigerator again. I am making a frittata using just what we have in there to use for leftovers. And yes, I may have missed a few meals because you're seeing things that are leftovers that didn't show up earlier in this video. I apologize for that. The last meal of the pantry challenge is pork cutlets, some wonderful Swiss chard given to us by my husband's brother and his wife, and some carrots, and I have some leftover squash as well. This was so good, such a great meal, a simple meal to end our challenge with. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and until next time.